What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Elisha 26. Here with my 7-month video. So, I'm officially 7 months and 1 day on T. It's been a crazy, hectic 2 weeks. Sorry I was gone. Um, Doctor's appointments like crazy for one. Working like crazy for two. Um, Exhausted like crazy for three. So let's see what's new. Alright, so last week, when I was 27 weeks on T, I decided to go back to weekly injections and split my dose in half. Mainly because I was tired of the peaks and the valleys with my emotions that the testosterone was giving me because it was such a large dose. Um, I was noticing some aggression in the beginning phase for about 3-4 days. Then I'd be cool when I leveled off, and then I'd have kind of like a little depressive state along with crazy exhaustion as the T started to wear out in the last 3 or 4 days of my 2-week cycle. So that really led me to be more certain that going back to weekly was the right move for me. So here I am in my second week of, excuse me, in my second week of a half a milliliter dose. Um, these past 2 weeks, I have noticed a change. It's crazy how quickly it happens. I haven't really felt the aggression or the depression really, just because the T has been at a steady level. Friday I went to see my endo and discussed all of this with him, and he was like, well, I'm sure you know your body. He totally agreed with me, and he gave me some positive feedback for my decision, which is like, always great to know that like your doctor supports your choices when it comes to like transition stuff. You know, I I really kind of went back and forth about that for about a month, but I wanted to wait it out and see if maybe my body would start to become more accepting of the large dose and kind of like get with the program, but it didn't. Also, I got my doctor to refill my prescription for the next 9 months, which is great because, you know, who wants to go back to the doctor all the time to get their prescription refilled? He didn't do labs this time because he said when the labs came back that I was in the right spot where I needed to be. He said I'm in kind of the high range for a male, but he said well within the parameters, so he's not worried about anything. My kidneys and my liver were great. My red cells were great, so he wasn't too worried about my health. Um, he also mentioned that he's a little bit more experienced, so he's not going to need to see me as often, but he'll just order labs periodically through my primary care physician, which is good because driving an hour both ways is like crazy. 2-hour commute for a 45-minute appointment, like it kills on gas, it kills on my time, and because it's at the VA, I have to go Monday through Friday, so I always have to take a day off of work, which fucking sucks. But anyway, we'll talk more about that later. So I also got him to start writing my letters to change my name and my gender marker, which I'm really excited about, especially seeing how they just passed a law saying that the Social Security Department will no longer require you to have gender reassignment surgery to change your birth certificate. Well, nationwide. Oregon, which is the state I was born in, had already had that policy, so I wasn't too much worried about it, but it's good to know that, like, now it's official everywhere, which is great for all of my fellow trans people out there who were, like, really, like, kind of fucked over about that because fucking gender reassignment surgery is expensive as shit, and most of us are broke. But it's just a step forward for us when it comes to legislation, which can always take time and which can always kind of be a tricky thing because you have I'm not even say that like cisgender people are bad or anything, but a lot of them don't know transgender people personally, and they're the ones making the decisions for us. So it kind of sucks that they don't have these personal connections and realize the struggles that we have to go through when it comes to funding for surgeries. What else is going on? Hair everywhere. Um, I'm starting to sweat a lot more, which is like, it is what it is. What else? I can't say I'm getting stronger because I still can't work out because the doctor won't let me. What else? Not really much is going on with me bodily wise from my transition. I kind of have noticed that my voice is leveling out, which is great because it's still been doing kind of these weird changey fluctuations, but it's good that it's kind of like at a level, tone throughout most of my speaking hours, I guess. What else? I think that's pretty much everything that's happened in the past 2 weeks as far as changes with testosterone. Now let's go to the bullshit. So I get to work today, and it's like fucking 6:15, and my supervisor is like, Eli, when you get a second, can I speak to you? I'm in my morning meeting where we discuss what the fuck we're doing that day, which is usually always the same shit we did the day before because the job is the same every fucking day. So I don't see why we have to discuss it. But whatever. So meeting is adjourned. I go to my supervisor and he's like, did you leave work early yesterday? I was like, yeah. He's sitting there with my slip that says I'm leaving early for work. So he's like, when did you hand the slip in? I was like, I think around the same time I handed in the one that said I wasn't going to be here all day Friday. Which is crazy because I gave it to him personally. And he texted me on like Sunday asking me why I didn't call into work. And I was like, put in a PTO slip. But anyway. So I was like, well, it says on the paper that I turned it in on the 20th. I gave it to Dan, who's kind of like my assistant supervisor or whatever. He's like, oh, okay. Just to let you know that I spoke to HR and they said that if you don't have any PTO, they're going to start rejecting your slips and you're just going to have to call out sick if you're already here or call in sick and say you're not coming. He's like, what I would suggest is that you open a FML case, which is basically like saying that you require treatment from your doctor, which will have you missing work, so the job can't penalize you. And I was like, well, I'm not on a treatment plan. I'm contesting disability claims that I have with the VA. I was like, he's like, well, can't you get a doctor? I was like, well, it's not really like they're treating me. I go to the doctor, then she sends me to a specialist. There's not really a treatment plan. And I was like, I informed you guys when I started working here that, I'm going to be going to the VA a lot. One, because I'm transgender, and two, because I'm on disability. So I have service-connected disability, so I'm going to be, doing my shit. So he's like, well, they're saying that, I was like, so what you're telling me is that I, a disabled veteran, cannot go to the doctor without the fear of losing my job. And then he was kind of like realizing, that seems kind of like a lawsuit. And then I was like, and you're also telling me that I, as a transgender male, cannot go to the doctor because of fear of losing my job. And then he saw the even bigger lawsuit because Washington has like non-discriminatory laws against transgender people on the books. And I was like, that sounds pretty fucked up to me because you guys knew and you guys know that I go to the VA, which is only open Monday through Friday, and I can only get appointments as late as 3 o'clock, but they're an hour away, so I have to leave an hour and 15 to an hour and a half early in order to get there. And he's like, I'm going to talk to HR and see what can be worked out. And I was like, you do that. But that's how my day started. And it's just kind of like one of those things like, really glad that there might be a new job opportunity opening up for me so I can get the fuck out of this privatized company. Like, not feeling it anymore at all. The people there that I work with, for the most part, are great. But the way the company operates when it comes to paid time off and sick days is fucked up, and I'm tired of dealing with it. Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, went to the doctor on Monday and found out that I am in the beginning stages of carpal tunnel. So the doctor gave me like all kind of shit that's supposed to help it. Like I got this pillow that's like ergonomic so that my spine is in like the right position. And then I got these braces that are supposed to keep my hands in neutral positions while I'm sleeping. I don't have to wear them while I'm awake, but I have to wear them at night when I sleep. Hang on, you guys see the rest of this shit. They gave me like a whole Albertsons bag full of shit. Then I'm supposed to wear this thing on my fucking arm to keep my elbow from bending all fucking night. This shit is hot as fuck. Then they gave me this thing that I'm supposed to do these hand exercises on, and it's got these different color rubber bands for different pounds of pressure. I'm supposed to do this for like 10 minutes every day. Then they gave me this like, I don't know, it's like silly putty, but it's therapy putty stuff. And like, you use the pink chips, and then when you get good with the pink chips, you mix in a blue chip to make it like harder. And I'm supposed to do exercises with this for like 10 minutes a day. And then on top of the other exercises. And then they gave me these fucking like elbow pad thingies that I'm supposed to wear, which are supposed to keep the nerve in my elbow right here from getting pinched, which all kind of crazy stuff, and like all this literature and shit. And I'm like, the VA is saying that I don't have any nerve damage, so, but I have to do all this to keep from getting it. It's just like ridiculous. So I'm like all fucked up over here, and I haven't even begun to start doing the other things for my back and my knees and my ankles and all the other shit. So yeah, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. But one thing I can say is that I am still on T, haven't missed a shot, 7 months in, passing 100% of the time. What else? What's going on? That's great. Looking to get top surgery at the end of this year, December, or the beginning of next year, January, February-ish. So that's great. Like, starting that process, gonna start getting letters for top surgery. What else? And I mean, all in all, I have the love and support of my family and friends. So even though shit's a little up in the air at work, and you know, I was having some issues with my emotions, which kind of also contributed to me not making a video last week, I'm still like, you know, trying to be as positive and as happy as I can be, because I remember when I wasn't on hormones, and that was way worse than all the shit I'm going through right now. Oh, and we're having a thunderstorm here in Washington, like ice cold rain and thunder. So, welcome to summer in Washington State. Yeah, it's been raining here off and on for the past 2 weeks. I gotta get the fuck out of here. But I hope everybody's been doing good for 2 weeks, and I also hope that you guys will be great this week. So, happy shot day to all my Tuesday shooters, and I hope yesterday was great for everybody who shot on Monday. And I really, really, really appreciate all of your love and support. Whether you voice it to me in comments, emails, or what have you, or, you know, you're just silently watching my videos. And can't wait to see you guys next week. Hopefully things will be a little better. Much love.